Bruce, even before the talks, there are, of course, signs that this will be a difficult one. What are the disagreements that we're seeing about just the holding of the meeting itself?
The two sides are disagreeing about just the talks themselves, just what they represent. So a spokesman from China said the other day that this was a high-level strategic dialogue, which is a reference to the talks that had gone on during the Trump years that then collapsed. But Tony Blinken had told Congress just a day before that, very specifically, this is not a strategic dialogue. He said there's no intent at this point for a series of follow-up engagements. So there's a lot of posturing going on ahead of the meeting.
So is there anything positive that could come out of this other than the fact that they're now talking?
Well, certainly after what we've seen, sanctions and tariffs, kicking out journalists, closing consulates, all that was going on at the end of the Trump years. The fact that the two sides are talking certainly is a sign of progress. Li Keqiang, in his press conference at the end of the National People's Congress on Thursday, China's Premier Li said that just the fact that they're talking will help to, he said, boost trust and dispel misgivings. So I think if you get beyond the disagreements about, what the talks represent, the fact that they actually are talking is a sign that the two sides are trying to move beyond the tensions of the Trump years.
And the fact that the talks with Japan and South Korea is happening before the talks in Alaska, what kind of a message do you think Biden's team is building to send to Asian allies, including but not limited to the likes of Australia as well in the region?
Well, again, I think the key message here is that they are moving beyond what the Trump administration did when it came to its approach to China. And so the emphasis is not just on confronting China, but also on other things, other issues, such as climate change, such as the pandemic. So President Biden had a virtual meeting the other day with leaders of Australia, Japan, and India, and emphasized cooperation on those sorts of issues. And I think we'll see Tony Blinken and Lloyd Austin when they're in Japan and South Korea this week, and then Lloyd Austin when he goes on to India. They're all going to try to reassure countries about America's security commitments following all the uncertainties during the Trump years about just the extent to which the United States was committed to maintaining security relations with these countries.